Hey, it's Kim Commando today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. Hey, I always like to begin with something interesting, and I read this Ford patent the other day. Basically, it goes like this. Say you're driving down the road in your Ford electric vehicle. Okay, you're a dope. You forgot to charge the car. So the car is dead on the side of the road. So you push a button, and guess what? Ooh, that was the high-tech sound effect of a drone coming over the car, and they lower it down with some jumper cables. Yes, that's what it said. Or maybe even possibly a new battery for the car, or just a little charger to get you to the next place where you need to go. And get this, the drone can open the hood of the car too. Goes to show me the old joke, right? What does Ford stand for? What does Ford stand for? Anybody? Anybody? Found on the road dead. Ooh, I know. And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this. It's America's largest, most trusted source about all things digital. I'm Kim Commando, America's digital pro, here with you once again, because big tech is not your friend. I am. And you're about to get more tech smarts because every single thing is a tech thing now. And you can find us on over 425 stations throughout the United States. So if you're traveling around, make sure you can always check our station locator map over on the website. And we're streaming in your favorite radio app. Just search for my last name, Commando. And you can find us streaming as a podcast, as a webcast over at getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. And a big hello and thank you goes out to our listeners in the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marine Corps, the Coast Guard, and Space Force in 175 different countries who are joining us on the American Forces Network Radio. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And you know the drill. Quick reminder, you can always email me your questions over at commando.com. In the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Email Kim. All right, every single day throughout the day, I visit just a slew of websites where I read and I study and I talk to industry insiders too daily to make sure that I'm up to date on all things digital. And this is part of the show where I like to talk about the numbers that you may see. And we're going to start by talking about how we are inching closer and closer to a nationwide ban on TikTok. And it should be clear to you that if you've got TikTok on a phone, well, you're holding a Trojan horse for China. It sends everything back to the Chinese Communist government. And by the way, we have so many tips on the website about how and the right way to get rid of TikTok. Now, behind TikTok is a Beijing-based company by the name of ByteDance. Okay, it owns TikTok, but it owns a bunch of other apps that Americans are downloaded. One of them is called Lemonade. It's a Instagram clone, and it has just shot up in the charts. It's in the top 10 list this past week. Guess what? It's owned by ByteDance, which owns TikTok, which reports back to Communist China. So we could ban TikTok, but then we also have to ban Lemon8, and that's the 8, not Lemonade. They also have CapCut, which is video editing software. There's also, the other one is Lark. And so CapCut and Lark are also owned by ByteDance. So keep in mind when you're downloading stuff, make sure you can see who is the developer, who's the owner. If it's ByteDance, just say no. All right, number 2 on our list of 5 things. It's just a matter of time before AI takes over. Big news this past week from all the smart economists over at Goldman Sachs. They ran the numbers, and they say that AI could replace 300 million workers worldwide. That's 18% of the workforce. Okay. And it's not just the usual jobs that we've been talking about. They say even admin workers and lawyers are the ones that are going to lose their gigs to automation. But if you're someone who gets your hands dirty, you may be saved, but that doesn't mean forever. So let's say in the future, we're going to have a bot that landscapes and cuts all the hedges. Okay. Well, there's going to need to be a landscaper to teach the bot how to cut the hedges. And then that bot can teach another bot how to cut the hedges. So it's going to be a wild ride, I'll tell you, once this AI and ChatGPT, as it keeps going crazy. My take about ChatGPT is pretty strong. And I wrote it all up on the website about how we should be scared, very scared. And if you're wondering what's really going on and Why are we letting big tech create and control GPT? I don't understand it, but I really encourage you, if you want to learn more about it, make sure that you hit the website at commando.com. And it'll be there all weekend long. My take on ChatGPT and AI and what you guys and gals need to know about that. Which, speaking of, moving on to number three, $335,000 a year for some AI jobs. What do they do? It's called prompt engineering. Okay. Prompt engineerings do this. When you ask ChatGPT a question and then it comes back and says, would you like to know more? Maybe instead of it saying, would you like to know more? Maybe it says, if you have this medical condition, maybe you need to look at these other type of symptoms. So you kind of have a conversation go back and forth. So these prompt engineers are the folks that are going to be making $335,000 a year. I want you to think it almost like with websites and search engine optimization, that we have experts that will teach you how to get to the top of the search site results, which is a whole nother thing with ChatGPT. Will we actually need websites in the future? Will we? But speaking of AI, what is an AI's favorite music? What is it? You ready? Algorithms. Yes. Okay. Number three in our list, when you get rid of your Kia, you have no Kia. So imagine this. You pick up your keys. You're about ready to head into the garage. And just as you open the garage door, out of nowhere, your car goes poof, up in flames. And you're like, oh my gosh, what is going on with this? It's happening with the Hyundais and Kias. There's a big recall. More than 500,000 Kias and Hyundais are being recalled for this fire risk. So what's going on? Essentially, water can reach the circuit board in the tow hitch harness. That causes an electrical short that results in the fire. And it could happen even if the ignition is switched off. This is a big deal. So, various models of the 2019 to the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe are impacted, and one Kia model is the 2022 to the 2023 Kia Carnival. So if you know anybody or make sure that you contact your dealer immediately. And think about this. If Apple and Kia were to make a car together, what would its name be? If Apple and Kia got together, what would they call their car? You ready for it? IKEA, yes. And last, this coming in at number 5, do you really want to hurt me? Where's Boy George when you need him? You ever thought about how much abuse that you give your smartphone? You throw it, you drop it, you put it in the toilet. Yes. Turns out that we're giving a lot of abuse to all of our gadgets. There's a tech site called Electronics Hub, and they say that smartphones are the biggest culprits when it comes to causing painful incidents. Over 34,000 incidents a year alone because somebody's getting hurt using a phone. And that's just not people walking into fountains or bushes or cars or whatever it may be while they're walking and texting. Talking about getting the smartphone pinky from when you have to hold your phone, or now the text claw are type of injuries. But the smartphones aren't the only electronic devices that can mess you up. We've got TVs and video games, computers, and of course batteries can be dangerous too. And I know this one is a bit tasteless, so you have to proceed with caution. Water. Get it? Ooh, that was bad. All right, coming up, you have a website. We're going to tell you how to go through some free online tests to make sure that search engine optimization is truly working. Allie's going to be joining us, and we're going to have some news about our new newsletters. And then how you can shut up your devices with just a wave. And then also we've got a screenshot tool with Windows that's a real headache, and it's a dangerous flaw in your system. And of course, we have all of your phone calls. Then you have me, Kim Komando. Hey, our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line is now open at 1-888-825-5254 is the way to join us. And just a quick reminder that if you're not getting our podcasts, you're so missing out. For great content on the go, we have our daily tech update and our daily life hack, only 60 seconds each. And then, of course, we have Kim Komando Today. That's Monday through Friday. And our Friday edition of Kim Komando Day is a little bit different. It's a different episode. It's not only with me, but we have our amazing content queen, Ellie Seligman, joining us, as well as I like to say, our internet scout and our magnificent millennial, Matthew Heffel, on board. So wherever you get your podcast, just search for Komando with a K. All right, Doug in Tacoma, Washington, glad to have you with us.
So from the great state of Washington, Pacific Northwest, I'm looking for a software application or a website, and I've Googled and searched for a lot of them, but none of them seem to check all the boxes. I'm looking for something that I can use as like a memorial website for photographs and documents of parents and grandparents who have passed on. And
Hmm.
just a little bit of background: my wife and I both lost our parents early, so we now we're in our
Sorry.
early 60s, and we have children and grandchildren who our children have never known our parents or their grandparents,
Mm.
and our grandchildren
Right.
obviously have never known them. So we want to create a website and comparing notes with my siblings, my brothers and sisters. They're saying, "Yeah, I was thinking about the same thing. We need a place for our kids to go where they can learn about." And so, long story short, I'm looking for a website where we can share admin duties where we can all upload and post
Hmm.
photographs, videos, and documents. So I can find sites that
Okay.
lots of sites where you can share photographs, and that's only half of it. So we want to be able to share documents too, writings and stuff that we want to scan in. Taking photographs of documents just doesn't work very well. It leaves shadows,
Right.
and the shape is always skewed and all that stuff. So, and we want to be able to organize it to where someone can go and we can just categorize and say, well, this is our grandparents, or this is our parents' early years, or this was my dad in the military, or this was, my mom at the
Sure.
farm.
You have a couple of options, Doug. Just as you were explaining everything that you need, uh, I was thinking of other options, this one, that one. When I really think, you probably your best bet is to go with a Google Drive because you have Google Docs. You can have, different levels of access. You have Google Photos that you can incorporate into Google Docs. If you wanted to do some type of, slide presentation, maybe for some of the kids, at some point you have the ability to do that with slides. And it's all housed in one drive so that this way you're not going to different programs in different places. And then in addition to that, that number one, Google's going to be around for a long time. Okay. And
Yep.
number two, is that it's all made to work together and it's easily accessible by multiple generations.
Okay. And is there shared access where multiple people can post documents and photos
Yes,
and
a hundred
videos,
percent, 100%.
and then they can also go in and post comments on each photo?
Uh, that's a little bit of a tough one. So what we would have to do is maybe make a different photo album or create an album inside of a doc so that this way you could allow comments from that standpoint. But it does other wonderful things like facial recognition. You can see by location, and as far as scanning things in, I don't know. Do you have an iPhone by chance?
Not an Apple product, no.
Okay. Well, because there's scanner apps that you can put on your Android that will get rid of some of those shadows. But Apple, they have a Notes app that is a really great photo scanner. I use it a lot myself. So what we're going to do is we're going to set this up as a multi-user Google Drive. And if you want to take a stab at it, Doug, and just take a look at trying to how to do it, and if you run into any issues, Doug, we have on our staff, he's amazing. He's my IT genius, John. And every once in a while, if it seems like if the task is too daunting, if John has some extra time, maybe he can lend a hand. So, Doug, why don't you look at setting up a Google Drive with multiple users? It may actually have to be a Google Workspace so that this way you have all the capabilities that we just talked about. And then if you need any help afterwards whatsoever, just, ping us back. And then if John can step in and lend a hand in what I like to call our random acts of kindness, is that we're happy to facilitate for that. And Doug, once again, thank you for your call. I ran across an interesting photography website the other day. Speaking of, it's called 500px. It's a place if you are truly a professional photographer, if you're looking for inspiration from professional photographers and you want to maybe have a place where you can license your images. Again, it's 500px is the website. All right, there's a snipping tool on Windows. A lot of folks use it, but I have to tell you, it now has a dangerous flaw that you need to know about. So I want to make sure that you know about this because I don't want you to have expose yourself to any type of cyber attacks. So it's called the Acropolis. I don't know who names these things, right? Who does this? It's a severe security issue. It can be present in some outdated versions of Windows. If you're using Windows 10 and 11, when you crop a picture before sharing it online, you expect only the visible parts to be seen. But this vulnerability lets folks uncover the parts that you meant to keep hidden, even though you cropped them out. Oh my gosh. So imagine you took a photo of yourself, but your kid was in the background, so you cropped out the child for privacy. Well, with this snipping tool bug, you could see the people in the original photo, including the child that you just cropped out. So the bottom line is this. If you're using Windows 10 or 11, make sure that you are getting updates. I mean, I know a lot of folks, you turn off the automatic updates because it slows down my internet connection and it starts updating in the worst time ever. But it's always a good idea, whether you're on Windows or Mac, as a matter of fact, to make sure that you have the automatic updates so that when these vulnerabilities happen, that you are always protected the moment that the fix comes out. All right, stay right where you are. We have more of the show coming up, as well as a great tip for anybody who owns a website here on Kim Komando Today. All right, coming up in just a few minutes, if you have a website, I have a tip that you definitely don't want to miss. And then later on, you have all your smart assistants, and maybe they're not always listening. Well, maybe they're watching, and so now you can turn them off with a wave. And before we get to all that, Ali Seligman, our amazing content queen, is joining us here on the Kim Komando Show. Hello there, Ali.
Hi, Kim.
So I have to tell you, I am so incredibly proud of you and your entire team. And, Jeremy and Matt and Mark and Serena and Al and Lindsay. I mean, the list goes on. Everybody who
Amber.
put together our... Oh, yes, Amber. Oh, my gosh. Amber is amazing. Amber does what I could never do. Okay. Amber is an artist. Okay. I mean, she is. She's a true artist. But what I love about Amber's work is that she always looks at it from the user's perspective, right? I mean, because so many people, when they say we're going to design something graphically for a person, they have their own pretenses, like, oh, it needs to look like this. But Amber doesn't. She always comes back. And I think because of Amber, that's why the newsletters, they just look so sweet, right?
Well, and it's really nice because before you launch something like this, we look at it ourselves a million times. We like it, but there's that moment before the first send of, is everybody else going to like it? Because we're not writing these for ourselves. We're writing them for you. And the feedback has been so good, which is so good to see, because that's what we want, right? We wanted to make better newsletters that people enjoy reading, that they will read top to bottom. And we're seeing that. We're seeing that people are reading all the way through. They're telling us. And people are really enjoying them. So it's been so nice to see that.
And so here's the deal with the newsletters. Like before, they were ugly. Okay? I don't want to call the baby ugly, but they were ugly. Okay. I mean, it was, okay, here's two ads next to each other. Yeah. Here's something that you need to read about and you have to click. And then, there's another two ads. And then click here to get to the store on the website. And then you have to be able to find where you left off. Okay. Okay.
One of my very favorite reviews that we've gotten so far was somebody who said that not having to click through to read the articles was a magical experience. Isn't that great?
Dun, 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 dun. I know Charles said that. He's our web guy. He's like, he's never developed anything or heard of anything where somebody described it as a magical experience. Okay.
Right.
So the newsletters are revamped. They're new, obviously. New. It sounds like new newsletters. So we're calling them Komando 2.0 newsletters. So in the morning, we're doing the tech news. And then we're going to be rolling out the tech update for the afternoon, the tech life hack update in the afternoon. And then, of course, we have our security alerts. And I was astounded. I have to tell you, I've never done anything like this in my life where I literally got thousands of people in a matter of days saying, wow, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so, and that's another great thing about these newsletters too. We want to hear from you. We want to make these exactly what you want. At the bottom of every single issue, there's a place where you can rate the issue. So you can say thumbs up, well done guys. You can say, not the best for me today. Or you can say, this one didn't really hit the mark. And if you pick that this didn't hit the mark, why? Leave us a comment. Let us know what you didn't like or what you really did like, because that helps us make something that you'll like next time. Now, I will say, for the most part, the feedback we've received has been kind, respectful, helpful. We have even made some changes based on what people said over the first few issues. Added a little more meat and potatoes. We're going to be bringing back the trivia because everyone loves trivia.
Yeah, they do.
We got lots of people saying, wait, I missed the deal of the day. So we added back in a deal of the day. So let us know the things you love that you don't want us to take out of the newsletters, and maybe we can get them back in there. That said, not everyone was so respectful. One of my favorite bad reviews looks like something a third grader put together.
Ooh.
You must know some really talented third graders. By the way, there's an option to leave your name. No one who left a mean review left their name, of course, right?
Oh, of course.
Another winner, loser, just all caps, bad. Cool. Okay.
Bad.
Helpful.
I like the ones that would always say, like, you know, and you can just hear them say it, like, "Oh, I'm old and I don't like change." You know,
Yes.
we got a lot of those. Yes.
You know, but some of you have said, I'm old, I don't like change, but I'm trying. I'm going to stick with you guys, and I'm trying to like this new format, and we appreciate you so much. I will only share one more of these bad ones because this one made me laugh so much. Totally useless links. They go to sites that have nothing to offer me, and then switches to all caps. By the way, I'm looking to go from Windows 8 to 10 or 11. Can you help? Here's my phone number. Leave a message. Only call in the mornings.
We're just going to call you right up. Say, well, first of all, we're going to call up and say, you know what, you need to be nicer, okay? Right. And number two, you know, let's just talk about your Windows issue. Let me just, you know, that's just really great, you know. But you know, he feels comfortable enough doing that.
Yes,
But if you do need help with your Windows issues, you want to go to getkimshelp.com. Once again, that's getkimshelp.com, and these are professionals that can come on your computer. I trust them. I vetted them. And it's getkimshelp.com. Right. Just wanted to get that in there for Bill. Not that I don't remember his name was Bill, but it seemed to recall his name was Bill.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I shared all the downers. So, of course, I do want to give one of the really nice ones. And most of the people who left nice feedback did tell us our names. Thank you. This is from David. And this email made me so happy. This is the best upgrade to your advice and tech tips newsletters you've ever done. There's so much useful information. I already acted on the phone outgoing message for myself and all family members, which is a note. If you have a voicemail message of you talking, you should change that. Somebody's probably out there waiting to steal your voice, so you should just do the regular old, you have reached phone number.
Yes.
He said, as usual, your advice is pertinent to everyday problems and concerns and cuts through the BS. Love the format. I still listen to your weekend radio program while I'm working in the yard, even though I read your tech newsletters. Thanks for all the years of great advice. Oh, David.
Oh.
So nice.
You know, warms my heart. It
Me
really
too.
does. And it's so nice. I have to tell you guys and gals, I mean, it's so nice because we do read every single comment that you leave, every single one, because it's that important to us. And because they're so great, Allie, one of the other comments that I really dig that we've been getting is it's like, I can finally forward this to somebody. Okay? It's like,
I'm not embarrassed of all these colon cleanse ads. Yeah, great point, Kim. If you like these newsletters, if you learn things from them, if you laugh, send it to a friend. There has got to be somebody in your life that needs this kind of news, or they would just say, oh, wow, where did you learn about this cool newsletter? And they'll think you're smart. So forward it along, and then they can sign up too.
Yeah, it's one of these things that you have to see to believe. And we're super proud of everything that we're putting out with this product and thrilled that you guys and gals are really loving it like we are. And so how do you sign up? You just go to komando.com/subscribe. Now, if you're a longtime listener and subscriber to the newsletter, you may be saying like, wait, I was getting 12 newsletters a day and I really loved that. Okay, we're not sending out 12 newsletters anymore. Okay. We're just sending out one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and then security alerts as they come on. And the morning is really more geared towards newsy type stuff, things that's happening. And then the afternoon is more like how-tos, things that are pertinent to your life. And then if security alerts are recalls and breaches and all that other bad stuff. So make sure that you sign up right now while you're thinking about it at komando.com/subscribe. So, Allie, you're doing an amazing job. Love you. Love
Thanks,
the work
Kim.
that you're doing. Appreciate it. And everybody on the team. And it's just, I looked at it this morning when I first got up and I was like, dang, this is good. And Barry looks at me and goes, what are you reading? I'm like, the Kim Komando newsletter. So,
I'm glad you're proud of it, Kim. That means a lot. I'm glad.
well, keep up the good work. And for everybody, if you're not subscribed, just do it now. Go to komando.com/subscribe. All right. If you have your own website, there are these free online tests to make sure that your website is the best that it can be at search engine optimization. First of all, I want to connect your website to the Google Search Console because it tells you if there are indexing issues with your pages. You can request re-indexing with new content. There's also a link checker, and this will check your website for any broken links or links that redirect. There's also the mobile friendly test to make sure that your website is mobile friendly on somebody who's seen on a phone or a tablet. And then for a comprehensive website test, Nibbler scrutinizes your site to report back a scorecard from 1 to 10, and it considers things like accessibility, SEO, social media, technology. Now, if you have websites, you don't want to miss this, head over to komando.com and just do a search for free online tests for your website. And then all these links will just pop right up for you. All right, stay right where you are. We have more of your phone calls. And then later on, the trick to shut up your assistants with just a wave of your hand here on Kim Komando Today. Jeff in Camden, Maine. Hello there, Jeff.
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that love your show, and how can I say I've become a news radio junkie over the last couple of years.
Oh, excellent.
But anyway, and by the way, your staff is fantastic. Everybody's been really nice.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a great group of folks. We have a great team, and I think we all have this mission, which is wonderful, and that we just want to help people. We just want to be kind and make a difference in people's lives. And so it's so nice to hear that from you, Jeff. Thank you.
Alrighty. And to the problem, I have started over the last few years collecting what I would call classic DVDs. And it's kind of funny how quickly they accumulate, but I've got around 500 of them now.
Ooh, wow, that's a lot.
It's a bunch, and I'm looking for a tool that would capture the UPC codes and feed it into either Notepad or CSV files or something that I can ideally alphabetize and manipulate the data to one degree or another. And I've got an Android phone, and I'm on Windows 10 on my computer.
So Jeff, out of all these 500 DVDs, okay, you must have like one that you're like, yes, this is the prized possession in this entire collection. Which one is it?
Oh, wow, there's so many of them. Anything from Man from the Snowy River to Dr. Zhivago.
Oh, Dr. Zhivago, what a great movie that is. Wow. You know, it was interesting because now when you watch it, is that you see the intermission and you're like, okay, those were the good old days when they just didn't drop like 10 hours worth of videos, right, in one day and said, oh, yeah, I think I can binge watch this tonight. I think I can do that. All right, so let's talk about your DVD collection. The good news is that there's there are programs that are made just for this specific task. And so like you mentioned, you can just scan the UPC code on the back of the movie, and then it will actually go out on the internet and get more information about this particular movie. And then you have almost like your own mini database, because you said you want to export it into a CSV file. And so this way you can put it into a spreadsheet. You may find that you definitely may not actually ever need to do that because the programs allow you to manipulate the data and to do searches all kinds of different ways, whether it's just theatrical release date, who's starring, what kind of rating, and, you know, even by alphabetize or whatever it may be. So let me tell you about two of them, and then I want you to look at them, and then you can decide which one you feel is the best one for you. Make sense, Jeff?
Sounds good.
Okay, so the one that I looked at, and also I have to tell you, our very own IT genius, John, he recommended, it's called My Movies, and it's made by a company called BoldSoft. We'll give you a link to it. And it's a Windows desktop app, and then you can manually enter some DVD information if you want, or you can use the program's barcode scanner to scan the UPC codes, and then it also allows you to export it to a CSV file. So in case you want to sort and manipulate, that you can do that. It's about $60. And then there's another one called DVD Profiler, and it works the same way. I don't think it has as much robust features, like it won't go out on the internet and get the latest information, and that's $30. And then there's another one called Collector Z. And this one I'm not a big fan of because it's $30 a year. So, you're going to have this more than just a year, right? Because you're going to keep adding to your collection and going on. But I think if you really want to just pick one to zoom in on, I take a look at all my movies. And again, it's $60. So give it a shot. I think it's going to work out for you. And then you'll be able to sort all your movies and see exactly where they're located in the house and good things like that. And, speaking of movies, I saw for sale Muhammad Ali's DVD set and the George Foreman grill. Yeah, both were boxed. Okay, sorry about that. Moving on. All right, so on my iPhone, I, of course, have Photos, but I also have the Google Photos app. And I'll tell you what's super sweet about that, aside from having backups and backups, is that I really like the way that Google Photos Memories works a little bit better than iPhone Memories. So if you're into those memories, seeing what happened 5, 10 years ago, you might want to try that on your phone as well. All right, if you're just sick and tired of yelling, Alexa off, especially when you need to stop a cooking timer and you've got chicken fingers or whatever it may be, here are some tricks you can try with your Echo Show. You can now stop Alexa timers with just a wave of your hand. It has a new feature called Gestures, and so you can use Alexa without voice controls or needing to touch the screen. And it pays off, it really does. So to enable this feature, just open the Alexa app, go to Settings, of course, and then Device Options. And that's where you want to tap Gestures. Hey, by the way, this is super handy for anyone with mobility or speech difficulties too. Now, before enabling, make sure that you do understand that you're giving Amazon access to your camera, and a lot of people don't like that. Now, you can also control your Google Nest Hub and your Nest Hub Max displays the same way. You can dismiss timers, alarms, pause media, all with just a wave of your hand. Hey, do me a solid, do me a favor. Be sure that you tell 3 friends and family members about the Kim Komando Show, because everybody needs more tech smarts and knowledge is power. You can always find me at the website. That's komando.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.